Today on MTG Unpacked, it's Alpha Clash time again, and we're getting stuck into two Genesis Returns pre-release kits. So this set was released in November 2024, and these are pretty hard to find these days. You're looking at about 25 bucks a piece on eBay. I think that's what I paid. You can actually get an entire booster box though for about 56 US on TCG Player. So pretty good deal. So let's get these open and check it out. So set number 4, Genesis Returns. And of course, pre-release events are held at local game stores, so you can participate in tournaments and build a deck. We have a pre-release participant pack, and then we should have 10 other packs. Yep, so 10 packs total. So we're pretty close to opening like an entire booster box worth here. And of course, there are the different affiliations of the various cards in the game. So let's see what we get in our pre-release participant pack. Hopefully without destroying it. Oh, this is a double-sided one. Yes. So we have Shadowlight Dark Absence. And we've got the awesome Genesis Returns pre-release stamp there. Love the foils on these. So very cool. And then on the other side, we have Genesis Returns Shadowlight Bright Beacon. So this is one of the flip cards. This contender starts the game on this side, and then you can flip it about later. So that is very cool. Let's grab a sleeve for this one. And now I'm curious what we're going to get in the other box. Pretty cool. Love the card quality in this game as well. Alright, so Genesis Returns have not actually opened any of this set, so looking forward to it. Oh, here we have one of these harbingers. We have Tattered Shackle Blade. So this is a contender weapon accessory. Then we have Zhao Li Engaging the Aftermath. Somewhere in Manila, and believe it or not, this game is pretty big in the Philippines, so I think this card is a nod to that. Grasp of Power. And then we have Kilimanjaro Lava Wilder. You'll notice the rarity here. You've got a C for common and the color of the gem in the middle. And then we have uncommons Restoring Presence. So that is now a green gem. I Am Demise. Nice one. There is Death. That's one of the characters. Death, Dwelling in Darkness. They do have some awesome foils here. I like that little, looks like a little lightning bolt thing. I know it isn't. It's like a string or something attached there. Very cool. And then we have Air Assault for the rare. Okay, so moving on here. So we've got, from what I remember, 7 new contenders. There's other rarities, legendaries, iconic rares. Alpha Rare is the big one. Epics, you'll also find a bunch of those as well. So let's see what we get in the next one. Eclipse Form. Morak Gruesome Brute. I think he's one of the discarded. I think that's what they call him. Clarity Omniscient Envoy. And Embrace the Darkness. Shadowlight Intervening. And Dark Bargain. I Am Victory for the uncommons, Vigilant Defense, and Apex the Fastest, along with Clarity Fortifying. So in case you had not noticed by now, this is actually a superhero TCG. They have this entire set of lore behind it. They've got a novel, bunch of comic books and stuff like that. There's also a forthcoming board game, so it's going to be awesome. We have Shadowlight Lustrous Force, along with Genesis Steadfast Fighter, Lin the Diminisher, and Purging Heat, Molten Crag, and then we have Nova. I like how the artwork is all borderless in this as well. Resurging Fire for the uncommons. Oh, it's Frank's hot dog stand. This is showing off the new Fortitude mechanic. So that's basically making sure that if your card's attack and defense are normally affected by something your opponent's is doing, it will cancel that out. So that's cool. We've got Badge for the foil and Clarity Silent Assassin. Okay, yeah, so it seems like, I say this with every video, it seems like each set you go up in, the artwork starts off good and it gets even better. They're actually up to set number 5, Equilibrium. So if you've missed any of those videos, I'll pop a link in the corner to the complete playlist. Next up we have Genesis Steadfast Fighter and Kagan Voracious Scourge. I think that is him depicted on the playmat here. Shadowlight, Lustrous Force, Lin the Diminisher, and Purging Heat. Mean Streak, Swift Sentry, so Mean Streak is back again. Lin Scheming Cyborg, and I Am Creation, along with Cybernetic Recall and Visions of the Future for the rare. They also have gold finish cards in here. I think they're the I Am So-and-so cards, so we'll keep an eye out for those. Be good to get at least one gold card. We've got Ballistic Shield along with Magnate Observing, so that's another mechanic here, Observant. Then we have Balance of Power, Earth Gem, Namite Infiltration, okay. And then this is the Portal. Yes, there's Alpha Asta, Alpha Asta stepping through. So the portal can be either open or closed. I think that came about in the second set, which was Clash Grounds. Then we have Grenade Launcher, Shadowlight, the Skilled, and a Contender. Yes, the Contenders are the main characters, sort of like your Commander. So every deck would have one of these. Good deal. And Fortification. Alright, so what other things do we have? There's a bunch of new mechanics actually in this set. So we have Magnitude, Fortitude, Bound, and Recover. We'll see if we find any examples of those as we go through. Weapons System and Dragonheart. There's the guy on the playmat again. Incoming Mortar, Sadistic Strategy, Clarity Omniscient Envoy, Death, Dwelling in Darkness, and Major Dean in the fight for the uncommons. Magnate, the Aggressive. I think he came about in first set. Ooh, nice. Under Pressure. Ding, 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 ding. So this is a so-called iconic rare. So they have a artist signature on here as well. We'll sleeve that up. And Avenging Guy, the Distractor. Avenging Guy, we love you. Even though you're a bit of a hapless cosplayer, I think they called him like a, was it LARPing? I think LARPing Expert was the card in a previous set. Alright, next we have Kilimanjaro Lava Wielder, Kagan Armored Assailant, Morak Gruesome Brute, Kilimanjaro Intervening, Genesis Changing Plans, and Badge. Uncommons, we have Haven, Now You Don't. So I think there was another card, Now You See Me, in an earlier set. Moxie, the Decisive, and Incoming Mortar, along with Rotten Repercussions. So that is one of the Harbingers again there. Alright, so 3 more packs in this first one. And then we'll get stuck into box number 2. Next up, we've got Shadowlight Intervening and Kagan Smashing Through. Genesis Fueled for Battle. I think Genesis is, from what I remember, the Alpha Rare. So there's only one of those in the set. So Embrace the Darkness and Kagan Smoldering Striker. Dark Bargain and Shadowlight Umbral Agent, along with Shadowlight, the Skilled, and a Foil Diminished. Nice one. So that is a rare. Weber Explosives Operator. I don't think we've pulled any epics yet. Those ones are pretty noticeable if you come across them. We have Mean Streak once again. Under Pressure, Balance of Power. And Ballistic Shield, Controlling the Situation. Nemite Infiltration, Erupting Force. The uncommons, Apex Top Speed. Conquest the Contentious. It seems like they've changed the foiling a little bit on this set. A little bit more subtle. Then we have Conquest, Exploring Enemies. Alright, so one more here from box number 1. Did you take part in pre-release for any Alpha Clash events? And if so, how did you do? What do you think of the game so far? Let me know in the comments. We got Kagan Armored Assailant, Zhao Li engaging, the Aftermath, Earth Gem, and Kagan Smashing Through, Killshot, Pestilence, the Repulsive. So that's actually one of the contenders from an earlier set. Weapons Depot, and Shadow Light. What is that? Luminescent Stalker. So that is actually an epic. It looks pretty epic as well. Anything on the other side? No. We'll sleeve that guy up. And then we have Pestilence, Omen's Arrival. Alright, so yeah, loving the artwork in this set, especially these fancy rares. Alright, so we are doing pretty well so far. We'll get this stuff out of the way and move on to box number 2. And if you want to get into Alpha Clash, I highly recommend picking up one of those 2-player Clash kits. So they bring those out with every set. And also, if you want to know how to play, I'll pop a link in the corner. There's actually a Team Covenant video where they go through the details starting from game setup and show you a game. I think they used the first Clash kit to do that. Okay, so second pre-release pack here. What do we have? It is all very nice. We have Kilimanjaro Power Erupting. So another contender card. I like the gold stamp on that as well. And card quality, like foil. Look at that. It is flat, except I think I might have distorted it a bit when I pulled it out of its wrapper. But never mind. Let's pop that in a sleeve and continue on. Still no sign of the gold cards. That would be really good to find some so we can show those off. Next we have Death, Dwelling in Darkness Weapons System, Sacred Banishment. We haven't seen that one before. Kilimanjaro, Intervening, Dragonheart, Rooftop Tower. Where's that? Clash Ground in New York. Nice. Weapons Depot and I Am Victory, along with Interfering with the Process. And our rare is Machina, Seizing a Chance. So we will be getting stuck into, I'm thinking later next week, a whole booster box of Genesis returns. So looking forward to that. Incoming Mortar up next, Sadistic Strategy, Kilimanjaro Lava Wielder, Kagan Armored Assailant, Genesis, Changing Plans, Killshot, and Frank's Hot Dog Stand. I love the humor and light-hearted characters in this game as well. Kilimanjaro, the Versatile, and Embrace the Darkness. Some cool foiling on that one. And the Main Stage. So this is a New York Clash Ground. Very cool. Yeah, so they are firing on all cylinders with this game. I do wish it was doing better. Definitely check with your local game store if they can actually get this from their distributor. I think it's worth picking up. Next we have Eclipse Forth. And... oh, Eclipse Form. I misread that one. Then we have Killshot, along with Grasp of Power, Clarity, Omniscient Envoy, and Mizuno Karate Dojo. Okay. Couple of Cobra Kai vibes there. We've got Flare, Inferno Warden, and Interfering with the Process, Garrison, Noxious Alleyway. So there's our foil and War Rampant Rival. Still no sign of the gold cards. I know, they're very hard to find indeed. You can also, with this set, I think it's the Genesis Emissary of Chaos, maybe some other cards. You can actually play cards from your resource zone, so that's something new with this set. We got Shadowlight once again, and Machina. Shadowlight, a different one this time. Molten Crag, Earth Gem, Zowli, Engaging, and a Contender card. Nice one. The first Contender we've found out of the packs. Then we have Kagan the Scoundrel and Deafening Soundwave, along with Fractured Reality for the rare. Okay, so did we not get a foil there? Interesting. Alright, on to the next Genesis Returns. So see if we can find any more contenders. We got Under Pressure and Somewhere in Manila controlling the situation. Moxie recruiting the best. Sovereign Scourge. Oh, here we go. Another contender. We have Moxie Vanguard of Earth. So she is one of the alpha hunters. So we've got two contenders. Armored Operation and Restoring Presence. Foil Under Pressure. And Flare Pyroclasmic Guardian. I think that one would look really good in foil. So if you've played Alpha Clash, which set is your favourite? And do you have a favourite contender? Sort of like Magic, people have favourite commanders. So yeah, this game, let me know what you think. We got Genesis Fueled for Battle, Morak Gruesome Brute, Embrace the Darkness, and Genesis once again, Lyn the Diminisher, Mean Streak, Swift Sentry, Conquest, Readying Up, and Magnate, Patient Villain, Foil Dragon Scale Armor, nice one. That is actually an epic, and see if we can get, looks like there's a bit of texture on the card there as well. That is very nice. And Rizlak, Savage Creature. Okay, so grabbing the sleeves here, good to see a couple of epics. So we've got an iconic, few epics, nice promo cards. I think we're doing pretty well out of two pre-release boxes. Dark Bargain and Balance of Power, Namite Infiltration, Purging Heat, The Aftermath, and Kagan Smashing Through, Shadowlight, Radiant Fighter, Weber Examining the Scene, and Molten Crag for our foil Warfront Outpost. So what is your craziest pull from Alpha Clash? I noticed in Equilibrium, I think they have gold cards and also these X-ray cards. We pulled a gold card from one of our, I think the booster box actually, so that was pretty cool. So you can find that in the playlist. We got Magnate Observing, Kagan, and Tattered Shackleblade. There is Kagan once again, and Ballistic Shield. Oh, another contender, Genesis Emissary of Chaos. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. You can actually play your cards from the resource zone with this one. So 3 contenders. Then we have Pestilence the Repulsive and Haven Quick-Witted. Foil here, contender, nice. Moxie Vanguard of Earth, awesome. And another foil, Accumulating Might. Okay, so we have 2 more packs. Like I said, stay tuned. Coming up in about another week or so, we'll be getting stuck into an entire booster box of this set. Next up, we've got Flare Inferno Warden and Mizumo Karate Dojo Machina, and Controlling the Situation, Molten Crag. Another contender, it is War Legion Commander. Then we have Kilimanjaro Prismmancer. Interesting, must be one of his superpowers. Vigilant Defense and Magnate Patient Villain, along with Pestilence Omen's Arrival. Nice, so foily goodness. final pack of Genesis Returns. Let me know in the comments what you think about this set. You think the game is worth picking up? Final pack here, we have Sovereign Scourge, Sacred Banishment, Eclipse Form, Under Pressure, and Moxie, Recruiting the Best, Rooftop Tower, and Uncommons, Apex Top Speed, Lord Krung the Agitated. I think he's one of the discarded. I think that's what they call him. Oh, nice one. It is Chowling Ready for Action. So we have another epic. Alright, see if I can pick up the texture there. And then we have Flame Shield to finish. Alright, so grabbing the sleeves. I think we did pretty well from these. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.